Hey, Jeff and Mel. My name's Nate.
And I'm Darcy.
Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. How are you both doing today?
Great.
Right.
I love
Yeah.
your shirts. They are
Yeah.
incredible.
Got to be
That's
on
right.
brand. We got to be on brand.
Mhm.
So, Mel, we love the Steve Ditko inspired design in the show and the very dynamic comic book aesthetics that come from it. What kinds of discussions and decisions happened that helped bring that style to life?
Actually, that all, Jeff, and correct me if I'm wrong, that happened, a lot of that happened before even I came on board, right? And it was actually one of the things that attracted me to the show was when they mentioned that it was inspired by the comic books. And I was like, yes, I'm on board. Yes.
Well, of
Yeah.
course, I mean, the aesthetics are so important to this show. They do like pay homage to what came, what
Mhm.
inspired, started off the trend that is Spider-Man, and I love the way it looks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. It's wild to think that Spider-Man is celebrating his 63rd birth. He looks great. He looks
He
great.
looks fantastic.
Uh,
I'd look a day over 15.
Not at all.
Not at all. Jeff, what do you think it is about Spider-Man that keeps bringing us back to the character after all these years?
He's relatable. He's got a lot of heart. And like whether it's the geekiness, the awkwardness, the comedy, like you strip all that away, he's a guy who cares so much about the people around him and never gives up. Is always driving to be better and do better and help more people. And I think that, a lot of people just really resonate with that.
For sure. I totally agree. He's almost the everyman hero. Everyone can see something in him that they can relate to. And this
Totally.
one's for both of you. It's clear the origins of the MCU Spider-Man play a part in this series, but with a multiversal twist. Why was it so important to build off of this rather than going for a more traditional approach with Spidey's origin story?
I wanted to do something, I think, fresh. There's so much of the show that is like, here's what you know, but also here's a new thing that kind of twists it. And I think, while it would have been cool to do the kind of classic, he's at the big science fair, gets bit by the spider. We've all kind of seen that story. And while I have nothing against that, I wanted something that set us apart, quick takeaway, very different. And
But
just kind of
still
like
Spider-Man.
exactly that. Yeah. Different
Yeah.
but familiar.
Yeah, Mel, how about for yourself?
Exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah, I've worked on a lot of projects where it's just an animated version of a very specific comic book. I think we've reached a point now where it'd be nice to explore further new storylines that don't really erase the history or tread upon, not without being disrespectful to the origins.
Yeah. Yeah. Then this series is so confident with that. And I think that was just over the 10 episodes, it's something that you recognize more and more with each episode. And I love how it's both not just it's not just MCU references. We're getting, original comic references as well. And it just blends so beautifully with so many iterations of Spider-Man over the years. This is also for both of you. Who's your Spider-Man? Whether that be on page or on screen, I know it's tough to narrow it down, but who's your
Yeah.
Spider-Man?
Oh my God. Why would you ask me this?
You haven't been at this yet? What?
uh, hmm.
For me, it's Todd McFarlane's
Oh,
90s. I grew up in the 90s with it. I mean, I grew up with the older Cosmic Spider-Man. Not many people know about that. That was one of my favorites as a kid.
McFarlane and Venom's introduction really kind of changed Spider-Man's course for sure, and his
Yeah.
run was totally memorable. So
yeah,
I agree with you there.
yeah.
I gotta go Spider-Man from the animated series, the 90s. That's the one I grew up with. That's my first Spider-Man. That's the one that introduced me to the world at large. So that's always like my guy. A lot of Peter's look in this show is kind of pulled from that character as well. So yeah, that's my guy. Although I also love Tom Holland Spider-Man as well. I think he does a fantastic job.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love all the Spider-Men. We're Toby guys, but I respect those answers wholeheartedly. Both of you, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. Again, this show it's a love letter to Spider-Man, and I think that's just the best way that I could sum it up. And I can't wait to see what's next. Maybe in a season 2, maybe.
We'll do it until they kick us out the building. So
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's
let's
go.
go.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Guys,
Thank
Cheers.
you.